backyard here in the nest, right? This is my little nest, my podcast studio. I have windows in front of me, and I have the windows on the side.
Welcome to the Small Scale Life Podcast, where we explore simple living, growing food, wellness, and finding purpose in the rhythm and nature of everyday life. I'm your host, Tom, a gardener, homesteader, river dweller, storyteller, and a professional wanderer, inviting you to slow down, learn something new, and enjoy the journey toward a healthier, more intentional life. Here on Small Scale Life, we believe in taking small steps towards big dreams, whether you're tending a backyard garden, starting a homestead project, building better habitats, or just trying to simplify the chaos. This podcast is your companion along the way. So grab a cup of coffee or a drinky drink, settle in, and let's grow together. One small step, one small story, and one small scale change at a time. Learn, do, grow, be a little better every day.
A few years now, and I was saying in previous podcasts, it's hard to have a bad day when you start your day with gratitude, and that is so true. And I'm glad you're here today. I am thankful that you are here today. I'm grateful for you. Let's start out with a little fun here. We're gonna add this to the stage. I gotta move something else here. We're gonna start with the hearth, right? And this is actually the fire at the landing here, and we're just gonna watch it for a minute. Hopefully you can hear that crackling. It's only 20 seconds. Fire, so important to humankind. You know, we've gathered around the fire since the day we crawled out of wherever and discovered it, right? It is a source of heat, a source of for cooking, for protection, for telling stories, for s'mores, right? It is essential to humans wherever we've gone and however we've come about. But that's what we're going to be talking about today, a little bit about gratitude and gathering and whatnot. And we had to start, we had a fabulous Thanksgiving. We actually got together with some really great people. Ryan has met a wonderful young lady, Rebecca, and we went to their place, her parents' place down in Owatonna, Minnesota. And it was so much fun. We had a great time playing games, eating wonderful food. We played a little bingo. Jules brought the bingo. And it was really just a chance to share the abundance. And this is an arrangement that Jules brought down there. Jules has so many talents. She created a beautiful flower arrangement, left it with them, and gratitude for having us down and sharing the day with them. Isn't that beautiful? She just does such a great job. And all kinds of greens and flowers in there. I got to remember that this is going into the Small Scale Life podcast. So I'm trying to square how, maybe put a slider on smallscalelife.com as I post these up, and then you can kind of see all these photos that I'm showing, because I am going photo heavy in these episodes. And, I just want people to see what we're doing. So we brought the arrangement. It was very cool. Jules did a great job. We also brought some other yummy things and cool things. So one of the things we brought, Jules made these. It's a painted rocks, mandala dot painting. That's something that she's learned through her yoga practice and just for her interest in crafts. And she made this really cool big stone with the tree on there with all these cool looking leaves. And it's really nice. And their family name on it. And then she also made these very cool snowmen mandalas on these rocks. So that is super cool. Let's get a little closer look at that. Here we go. Bring this up. And you can see it just a little closer. It's little snowmen, reds and greens and whites. It's just beautiful. She just did such a nice job. And I really love these. I hope she makes some more for us, because I'm just all about it. I think it's really cool. I think the tree stone is super cool. They can put that on their front. And it was just so much fun hanging out with these fun people. And, they opened their house to a student that was also going to nursing school with Rebecca, and he came down, such a nice young man. Ooh, there goes an eagle. So I might get distracted at times. An eagle just flew by. Wow. Okay. And he was at treetop level. So we've had a young eagle flying around here lately. And I'm not surprised that he's also looking for yummy treats. Our feeders are full today as the snow is coming down. So what else did we bring? Well, we brought some games. We brought also a Tommy cake. Wait, a Tommy cake? Me? Oh, it's a real cake. Yes, I brought a real cake to the event. It's our famous family chocolate cake with peanut butter frosting. Oh my gosh, it was super good, fresh. It was super, I know we all hate this word, moist. It was super good, and everybody really enjoyed it. We did not lack for food. So we had turkey and ham and mashed potatoes and yams and parsnips, and then pie. We brought a pie. We brought the chocolate cake. We brought the pumpkin pie and chocolate cake, and then the young man brought a pecan pie. So that was really tasty and delicious. So we had a great time. We just really love hanging out with everybody. So it's good. And then came back here and had a really nice Friday. We started the day with a gratitude practice. So this will pop up here in a second. Went with Jules to her yoga practice down at Healing Roots Wellness Center in River Falls. And man, it is a beautiful place to do yoga. I'm not an expert by any stretch of the imagination, but it was just a really nice gratitude practice. And what makes it so awesome is this mural that was painted by the owner's cousin or niece, I think her niece, and she just did a great job. It's like doing yoga in the middle of the deep woods with a running stream, and there's a red-tailed hawk that's up on one of the branches right where the light is or that heater is. And then there's a really cool spider web back there too. That's all part of the mural. So this is a beautiful space. And Jules' practice was all about gratitude. She had a whole month of gratitude practice and kind of put it all together today or yesterday. So it was just wonderful to do that and get stretched out and have just a really good time. And then we went on a coffee date and worked on things, and it was a nice day. Just lots of fun, taking care of business and talking and just being together. So, you can do all the crazy things and get shopping and everything, but we spent it together at a coffee shop and just enjoying the day. So, yeah. What else we got going on? Well, we've got our simmer pot going, and this ties right into the hearth discussion. We can take that turkey carcass and the parts that, we don't eat. So like the drumsticks, I'm not a real big drumstick guy, and the wings and and the carcass, and we can make a really thick and awesome broth. I let this simmer for like 3 hours or maybe 4 hours. And it's got some veggies in there, onions and garlic and peppers and some herbs. And then we've got the turkey, and it just smelled awesome. So that's something we're going to be processing today. I think we're going to make some soup when Ryan and Rebecca come over on Tuesday to decorate the tree. So we're going to have some really great stock to make some really wonderful soup. And that's all part of the abundance, right? We are using everything and sharing it. And really that's what we're doing by having this feast, this more of a harvest feast at this time of year. So this was great. I've just been enjoying working in the kitchen. And of course, that at the heart of it is, there's a little junco right there outside my window, easily distracted by birds. Getting in the kitchen and creating things has been a lot of fun, especially with the Tommy Cakes project. And yes, of course, we've got some new things at Tommy Cakes. These are small suet bars. And, they're like, I have a product I call the 3-2-1 suet bar, and I sell 12 of them. These are really cool because they've got, you can see the holiday wrapping on there. This is like a present, and this has holly and everything on them. And they're just nice, thick, chunky, about an inch by 3 inches by an inch suet bars. And they're going to be great in my feeders. I've also created let's bring up another image here. Been working on mini donuts. So I got some new molds, and that's been the start of this. So these are 3-inch wide by 1 inch. And these are mini donuts. So they're mini donut stackers. And I've got some out there right now, and the birds are going crazy. I'm watching a red-bellied woodpecker and a junco both trying to get on the suet log. And I'll show you the suet log here. So this is our suet log that we've got hanging right now. And it's got suet in these holes. So I've drilled holes in there. I've got some perch posts and a branch. And the birds just love coming in and taking it. And taking the suet. So I've had juncos in there today, the red-bellied woodpecker, cardinals, blue jays, everybody, chickadees, everybody's been in. And everybody's hungry. We've got snow coming down. It's not great. So I can take, how do I fill it? I take the suet bars and I can chunk them down. I can chunk them down into little pieces and roll them into essentially little suet sausages and put them in the holes. Or I'm trying out a new product here. This is essentially it's not chili. My mom was wondering if this was chili, but this is for lack of a better word, and I think it's trademarked, so I can't use that. But it's like we'll say a suet butter. And I can take an ice cream scoop and scoop some out and then put it in the suet log. And that is going to be pretty nice. I think this is about 2 pounds of suet, which is great for these birds this time of year. Our northern flicker is back. Oh, yeah. Sweet. And a junco, too. So we've been having a lot of different friends, especially with the storm coming in. I mean, if you watch your feeders, the birds will start to tell you that, hey, storms are rolling in. And they'll tell you, they'll start to really ramp up in the feeder. And what I'm talking about, if you don't know what a northern flicker looks like, it's the largest. So we have the pileated woodpecker, and you think woody woodpecker, that's a pileated woodpecker. They're the biggest ones. But then we also have the northern flicker, and they are a large woodpecker as well. They're the second largest one here in Wisconsin. Oh yeah, he's going into the feeder. That is just fantastic. So yesterday, we got home from getting coffee and everything. I look out, and here is the northern flicker right there. That's the northern flicker. Beautiful bird, the spots, the gray, the red band on its head. And he was you can see the suet pole there. It's a little empty. It's totally empty. So he was looking at it going, come on, where is the chow, bud? We were having so many birds in the feeders back there. I hated to do it, but I walked back there and I put suet in the feeder. But yeah, the northern flicker just inspired me to get my butt out there and get the suet out. And plus I could try the mini donuts. I think he went over and is having some mini donuts right now, but can't quite see that feeder up on Oriole Hill. But just beautiful birds. The spots on his chest, the gray, the black, the yellow. See, you can see the yellow on his tail feather right there. And then the red band on the back of his neck. So beautiful birds. They're usually a ground feeder, but this time of year, hey, everything's fair game, and he or she will get up into the feeders and get what they need to survive. I mean, it's that time of year. Everybody's hungry. Everybody's looking for food. Now I've got a group of starlings back there, and they're not the prettiest birds. Actually, they are kind of pretty. They have hearts on their feathers if you look at them close. We've had the red-bellied woodpecker. That's this guy. His name is Happy. I haven't named the northern flicker yet, so if you have a name for the northern flicker, let me know. But this is Happy. He's our red-bellied woodpecker, and a super cool little bird. They can get a little territorial in the feeder, but they're super neat. What else have we had today? Let's see. I think we got Priscilla next. Priscilla has been hanging out with a couple of her men, hanging out in our back bird feeder. So you can see she just gets on that branch and they can peck and get all the suet they need. She's such a pretty bird. I love having the female cardinals around. I love their colors. I love how they look. And they're fun. They chirp and hang out all the time. Oh, Happy's back too. Oh, that's an ugly picture. Yeah, we're not going to use that one. Let's get that one off. But the suet cakes, I've had all kinds of chickadees on there already, and I'm hoping that the northern flicker's over there. Oh, you're getting mooned by the blue jay. What's nice about having a suet log like this is that your birds can use those for perch. I put a couple dowels on that, so the blue jay is hanging on the dowel and mooning us right now. That's a funny picture, but the blue jays can get up there, the cardinals can get up there, everybody can get on that. Yeah, there he is. And now he's looking at us. But this was all taken this morning. So the northern flicker was yesterday. And again, it's abundance, right? This is kind of at the heart of Tommy Cakes too, is, hey, I am feeding these birds. I'm keeping them, I'm helping them survive this harsh winter. It's going to be cold and snowy this year. I just have a feeling. And if we can have a little bit of extra food out there, I've got a variety of feeders, so everybody can get in there. And I've got a lot of feeders, to be honest with you. I think Jules rolls her eyes at me sometimes and says, what the heck? But, if you need some suet, let me know. If you need some bird seed, let me know. We've been running a 25% off sale right now at Tommy Cake Seed. And I'll bring that up. We have an Etsy store. And here we go. Oop, I think that's the wrong one. Still getting back into sharing everything here. Let's remove that. Let's bring up this. I want to bring this one up. Here we go, folks. Bear with me. Yeah, here we go. So this is our Tommy Cake Seed website on Etsy, and we've got all of our products out there. I do have to add the suet, the holiday suet bars, and then the suet butter on here, and put some pricing to that and everything. But our two most popular products, of course, are the 8-pack spicy seed cakes, and then the spicy suet cakes. There's an 8-pack of those as well. And everything is on sale right now. Actually, this is the 4-pack right here for $12. The 8-pack is going to be about $22.50. So, yeah, there it is. You can see Wanda, the pileated woodpeckers on there. So I should actually pin that to the top. We'll do that later. But yeah, 25% off at your on the Etsy shop. We'll get those mailed out, and away we go. So, all right, we're going to stop sharing that. Bring it back to the stage and begin the topic of our show. Oh my gosh, we're 15 minutes in and he's just talking about this, that, and the other. So the hearth is super important to all of us. And here's my show notes, of course. The hearth is super important. It's been important in history forever. Protection, warmth, food, bringing the community together to tell stories and talk about things. It is the heart of the home, and it's been the center of domestic life for thousands and thousands of years. And without the hearth, it's not considered a home in many ancient societies. But now fast forward to the modern world, and a lot of our homes don't have a fireplace, and you could put electric or gas one in, but it's a little different, right? And not that it's anything bad, but it's just different. We've had gas fireplaces. We had a gas fireplace at the farm. We had it up in Inver Grove Heights when we lived in the apartment. It's nice. You can get that going on. And it's really funny when you don't have it, you do miss it. My sister-in-law in Stevens Point, she'll put on the YouTube bonfires or fireplaces, and she'll have that going in the background. It's kind of that deep pull in our soul to have that crackling fire going, or have that fire going and generate that warmth. So, as if you think about it, as humans were wandering, they would have, in their makeshift homes, whatever those were, however they built them, they would have a fire in there. But as they started to fix and create fixed locations, fixed homes, that hearth was the center of it. That's where everything happened. And it's changed a lot over the years, from just stones, a stone fireplace, to chimneys, brick chimneys, and all kinds of different ways we vent out the smoke. It's come a long way. And then they've also had community hearths, right? You have the blacksmith shop with the forge, and the bakeries and the ovens and all kinds of things. I mean, some parts of the world, you still have a community oven where people bring their goods and they make breads. So, and that's where everybody goes. So it is a very important part of, survival, but it's also a symbolic importance as well, right? There's symbols with the hearth. It's warmth, it's nourishment, it's a gathering place, and sharing the stories and traditions, and remembering the dead, our ancestors, telling great stories of battle and conquest, or just a great hunt, or just a good day. This is where it all happened, around the hearth. And look at it today. Where does everybody go when they have a party? They go to the kitchen. Everybody's in the kitchen. And that's where the open concept really shines. If you have a galley kitchen, it's tough to gather. even our kitchen, it's got a wall down there, and I wish we could open that up. It's going to be a big project to do it. It's not a structural load-bearing wall, and we would lose some cupboard space, but it would be great just to open that up and allow things to flow, the conversation to flow, right? Like the river flows, everything's flowing. But this is where it all happens, right at the hearth, right at the kitchen, right? And traditionally, the fireplace was in the kitchen. You watch HGTV, you're watching these old shows, and oh my gosh, we found a gift in the house. The old fireplace is right here. And, our little farmhouse had none of that, but we kind of have it here with our fireplace. In fact, the fire that we started with was in our fireplace, which is super cool. So while it served a very functional purpose, it also served as a sacred space as well, right? I mean, that hearth is a place where you are paying homage to certain gods. You can put in a sacrifice. You can, whether you're in Greek or Rome or Norse, Germanic cultures, Celtic, Indian, all over the world, this is where the spirits and ancestors would be connected to the home, and you would put in your offering to those gods, deities, and ancestors at the hearth. So, yeah, it's just a wonderful spot. We use our fireplace quite a bit just for entertaining, but it's also a place where you can do. I mean, we talked last show or a couple shows ago about a burning ceremony where you write your intentions out. You write the things you want to let go, and then you can burn that in the fireplace. And it's really nice. It's kind of starting a new beginning, letting that old crap go. It's transforming, manifesting dreams, and kind of a purification rite. So, it's a little woo-woo stuff, but that's what a hearth is so important on, or can be so important. So, yeah. So the hearth has been super important in our homes for eons. And it's so cool. If you have an electric fireplace or gas fireplace, you're not going to be burning stuff in there. But, it's still a focal point where you can decorate around. It's part of your home. It gives off warmth. A couple of years ago, my brother-in-law, sister-in-law down in Texas, they had that big ice storm. And they had a electric... or was it propane? They had a fireplace, and that's what kept them warm. They ran that while the power was out. So it couldn't have been electric, or they hooked it up to their generator. But that's what kept them warm when the power was out, was to have that fireplace going. So it's still an essential part of the way we live today. So there we go. Now you can see me. Still getting used to this, right? Little coffee, a little reset. So, if you think about it, this time of year, we've got our hearth going, we got our fire going. I'm going to have a fire today, just with the snow coming down and the cold outside. Having that fire, it's going to be super nice, and can't wait to get it going. Got firewood. That'll be a next year project, is to actually build a couple lean-tos for the firewood, keep it out of the snow, keep it nice and dry. But it's just having that connection and doing that with Jules here is going to be really beautiful today. As I think we're supposed to get maybe up to 6 inches of snow. So we'll stay in, have a fire, have a great meal, and away we go. So another part of the season is gratitude practice, right? So like we did our gratitude practice yesterday at yoga. We're really thankful for everything. For this place is a beautiful place, for all of the birdies that come in. Sure, I am feeding them, so of course they're going to come in, but we're grateful because it's a gift for a gift. I put the seed out, and they come in and eat it. And it's that connection to them and watching them and just laughing at these birds and the things they do. It's just watching a junco, and this is an importance for gardening too, right? I was just watching a junco down by the big bird buffet, and it was nibbling on a plant, because we didn't clear any of that. We just left it natural, left the shoreline natural. We didn't pull any weeds or anything. So it was eating either grass seed or another plant seed. And I was just watching that. I was like, yeah, because we didn't clean it off, it's extra food for these birds. I don't have to throw seed down because it's already there. It's on a plant. They can just eat it. So, so noticing those little details and being grateful for those birds coming in, it's so important to us here. So, very grateful for the garden season and everything that we grew this year and harvested. We could always do a better job, but this year was great, and we got some really good veggies and herbs and ginger out of everything, and potatoes, root vegetables. So you got to remember that every seed, every plant that you put in the ground, it's you're manifesting that vision of what that garden's going to look like, what your shoreline's going to look like. In every plant, every seed, it's hope, right? You've got a little bit of hope that this thing is going to turn into that thing, that beautiful flower, or that wonderful tomato plant, or beautiful potato. You're hoping that that's going to grow like that, and then you've got to do the work to make sure it go, or at least give it a shot, right? You've got to pull the weeds. You've got to make sure you're watering, maybe adding a little natural fertilizer to your garden bed. So there's some work that makes that manifest and makes that dream come true, and that's really what what we're thankful for too, is that we were able to do the work. We're able to make those seeds grow, to harvest the plants, or just enjoy the flowers and let the plants be for the birds in this harsh winter season. So it's tough on the birds. It's cold and they're hungry. So bring them inside. No, just kidding. So I think, as I look across the news media and what's happening in the world, what's happening in our country, what's happening in our towns, I think that now is more important than ever that we gather around the hearth, and gather together and build those communities. I mean, there's just so much strife, and there's so much anger, and there's so much anxiety about what's going on. We've lost those connections, and it's super important to connect again and share a meal and break bread and just be together. I think COVID really changed things. I mean, not only the prices of things, right? Everything is super expensive, and no matter what anybody says, it's expensive. And so we're not going out. We're not going to dinner out at a restaurant. We're staying in. With COVID, we didn't want to spread everything. So stay inside, reduce the curve or whatever, and it'll be 2 weeks. All that stuff. So we kind of got out of the habit of gathering, and especially us, where we were moving 5 times in 6 years. A lot of the connections we started to build were broken, and now we're building it here in New Richmond. And even like yesterday at the coffee shop, we were talking to the owner of that particular coffee shop, who's expanding here in New Richmond. He's going to have a place down here as well, and it was just nice to chat with him for a minute and get his vision and just make a connection. So that's what we're doing here, and that's super important to us as well. But gathering is super important. That's why these harvest meals are so important, and getting people together that you might not know, and reaching out and being part of their world. Oh man, sorry, Northern Flicker. Oh wow, he was super cool. Awesome. Beautiful yellow under his wings. Man, that caught me by surprise. But, in a sense, we're going to be doing that with Small Scale Life too. I mean, I understand that I was gone for 9 months. People move on. People go to different shows. They're watching different things. They're starting to watch the ant shows that Adam and I were doing, our lives. And then they were listening to the podcast, and then nothing from Tommy Cakes. So I've got to do the work to rebuild that community. And, it's going to take time. It's going to take effort. And it's going to be things like the show that bring people back. So how do I do it? Just be regular and consistent, right? And the same thing in our neighborhood, be regular, consistent. I want to give out some Christmas cards to folks here in the neighborhood, not to build our list or anything, but just to, say hello and happy holidays and all that good stuff. Happy solstice, right? That's a simple way we can do that. And we'll see if we can pull it off, but I'd like to have another gathering at our house. I know that Jules is going to bring in her yoga teachers, the folks she went through her yoga class. They're going to come here for dinner. Our house, we're happy to do it. We love having people here. So we'll have everybody over and have a great meal. The recipe is soups. So we're going to have some great soups here. We're going to make a beef stew, and it's going to be really good. So, yeah, that'll be a lot of fun. We're going to be doing that in a couple of weeks. But again, it's more gathering, right? Bringing people in. So as we're starting to reach the end of the season, the end of the year, the end of this fall cycle, I would encourage everyone to take a little time to reflect on the year, right? And we'll be doing this closer into December as well. Take stock of the year. How did it go? What are you grateful for? What could have went better? What went really good? What went okay? What didn't do so great? And you can write that down in a journal. I've got a journal. So it's our little journal, and I've been keeping track of things. And this is just you can't even see it with the. This is just what's happening here at the landing over the past year. But I have other journals as well. Where I'm writing things down, what I'm thankful for, what I'm learning, and it's just for me, that's important just to keep track of things. And I would say that it's helped me as I look back where I was a year ago, 2 years ago, 5 years ago. It's like, wow, I was thinking this and this was bothering me, or this was going well, and I kind of forgot about that, or I forgot about that happened. So it has been good. The shoreline journal, I guess we'll call it. It's the animals that have been coming through, the birds for sure. When the pond froze over and when the river froze over, and it just did right out here. So ice is very thin. Don't go on it. But when the orioles come back, when the hummingbirds come back, and it's amazing, they come back right at the same time every year. It's amazing. Juncos coming back. They come down from Canada and they think this is Florida to them. They came back about the same time every year. It's pretty stunning. I mean, these critters, they don't have a calendar or a compass or any kind of app telling them it's time to fly, but they just know, they can feel it. I don't know if it's a shift in the temperatures, a magnetic shift, whatever it is, they just know that it's time to head to where they need to be. It's pretty amazing. Butterflies, like monarchs, same thing. Something goes off in their brain and they're like, okay, it's time to go. So I would encourage you to keep a journal and a gratitude journal. There's another Junko. One thing that everybody does, whether you're Christian, whatever belief system you've got, is one thing that's pretty common that I found is giving thanks for something as they go around the table. We did that. It's not a Christian household, but we did that at Thanksgiving, and it was really cool to hear what everybody had to say, and had a few laughs during that as well. And then what else? Taking a gratitude walk, going around and just noticing the little details, the decorations somebody has up, the way the frost has covered the branches, right? That early morning frost, and it can be so beautiful. Or the tree coats the big pine trees, right? Or the stars, or the northern lights. I mean, just so beautiful. Just take a gratitude walk, and then maybe put that in your journal. What did you see? What are you grateful for? Right? It just starts to make you look a little bigger than, oh my God, I got this bill and I want to watch this football game, or I want to listen to this podcast. You can take a little different perspective on it. Sending notes of appreciation. Oh, Rebecca sent us this wonderful letter, and she wrote it to both of us, and it was so nice. Just such a lovely girl. And it was great to get it, right? It was great to get a card from a friend, and it's great to get some snail mail, or get the Farmish papers from Amy Dingman, and she hand writes a little message to you. I mean, so nice to get that kind of thing. So do that, right? That's that Christmas card idea, is to send that over to somebody, right, in the neighborhood. one thing that we've done again for gratitude, gratitude practice is instead of buying some plastic yuck from Temu, right, or Amazon, how about make something, right? Make a cranberry jalapeno jelly, make a cake, make some cookies or fudge, and give those out to people. Give it out to your friends and family or neighbors, who might be both. But, cook or give something that you made. Those rocks are a great example, right? I mean, how cool is that? They love those so much. They put it right out in the front of their house. And it's just, you made something. Made something beautiful, right? And even the flowers. I mean, you've got to find what works for you. Not everybody can, make a flower arrangement that looks that beautiful. I know I can't, but hey, I made a cake. I can make some Tommy cakes. Bada boom, bada bing. So use your talents, right? It's a great way to keep developing those skills and create something beautiful. And it's not just something you can get at the store. It's unique. And of course, slowing down during meals and having those conversations and telling those stories. I remember when we lived in Illinois and Ryan was younger, we had our little next door neighbor friend, Jonathan, and he just had so much energy, right? And he would get up during the meal and he'd do laps around the table. And it's like, holy cow, kid, slow down, right? Slow down, young man. Breathe. Chew slowly, don't choke, but stop doing laps around the table, right? So that's another thing too, is just to slow down, have meals and conversations, have that connection with folks. That's super, super important. So, here's some journal prompts for you as we move along, or things you can think about is, what are you most grateful about this season, for the year? What are you grateful about? What are you most grateful for? Right? That's a journal prompt. What helped you grow this year? We've all done our share of growing, learning, doing, growing, and being a little better every day. What helped you grow? Write that. Maybe write a thank you note to that person. Send it anonymously if you have to, if you're a little embarrassed or just don't want to, make things weird, right? You can send something like that. What Hearth moments brought you warmth and connection this year? I mean, this weekend was great so far, going and having a meal and then having our little coffee date and everything. I mean, that was a great Hearth moment, a couple of those. So think about those. What challenges taught you something valuable? We usually don't learn as much when we have success as we do when we just blow it and fail. So many things. I mean, I thought I was the world's greatest gardener, and then this year, the world's greatest tomato grower, and this year the tomatoes kind of sucked. So, I mean, what challenges? The hail. What could I do to prevent that? I don't think much, right? Unless I have a hail tarp over it, and that would have protected it. But what else? Maybe I needed to water more, right? And understand that the barrels don't hold as much water as the watering trough. So once or twice a week, I got to go out there and fill out the barrel wicking beds, things like that. Right. That taught me something valuable, and it's all about maintenance and keeping on top of maintenance. That's a common theme, whether you're a gardener, or homesteader, or just own a bike, right? Everything. So those are challenges. And then what seeds of gratitude are you going to be planting for the next coming year? So could I send out a note to all the customers from Tommy Cake Seeds? Yeah, that would be gratitude. The Junko was back. What else? Just little notes of encouragement to somebody who might be struggling, or like we talked about earlier, something that I really need to get my butt moving on is, healthy meals that will save some bucks and not be like super expensive and break your bank. Can we do that? Can we put some recipes together? I think one way we can do that is soups, right? And another thing is to have these meals stretch. So it's not just I'm spending all my time and resources on just one meal, but hey, we'll have leftovers that can last for 3 or 4 days, right? My friend Mariah, the intuitive energy healer, she does that. She plans it out. So she's going to have meals for like, you can eat on something for all week. And yeah, you might be sick of it at the end of the week, but hey, you've had nourishment, you've had really good meals, healthy meals for the whole week. And it's really pennies on the dollar if you think about it. When you go to the gas station and spend $10 on some of their food, or you can spend $20 and eat for the whole week instead of just one little meal. So that's kind of the goal there. So, yeah. So there you go. Just some gratitude, some thoughts from the hearth. I hope that you're practicing that gratitude and going to start if you're not. We all get caught up in life, and we get caught up in the hard stuff. Sometimes we need to stop, maybe watch the birds, and just think about things we're grateful for. And suddenly all that noise and all that yuck goes away. And I would also say, turn off the news, watch the birds, turn off the news, plant a garden, turn off the news, create something for somebody. It's when we're at our best, when we're thinking beyond just our immediate trouble or our immediate needs or our immediate thing. We start thinking bigger, we think about others, and then we start to implement, and we can change the world one little baby step at a time. And that's really what we're going to need to get through the next stage of whatever's coming. I mean, yuck. If you know, you know. But anyway, yeah. So what else can we give you? We'll have some links in the show notes to other gratitude podcast episodes that we've done here in Small Scale Life. I think it's really good work, but that's just me. So take a look at those. Also, we have 252 other shows beyond this one. So there's something in there for everyone. Beekeeping, homesteading, gardening, frugal living, all kinds of stuff, right? Or just stories. Go check that out. Of course, that's all on smallscalelife.com, our little spot there. If you need birdseed cakes, suet cakes, suet butter for someone in your life or for yourself, make great gifts. Go over to TommyCakeSeed.com or the Etsy shop, Tommy Cake Seed. We are on Instagram, the Facebook group, Small Scale Life Facebook group. And then I've started a Substack, Small Scale Life Substack. So that'll be good. And away we go. Oh, one more thing. So if you're looking for a good gift for your solstice or holiday gathering, my good friend Adam Rick over at Modern Frontier Farms, he has gift boxes and they are delicious. It's got meat sticks, trout dip, crackers from a local producer, cheeses from a local creamery. Really good stuff. We're going to get some for our not for Thanksgiving, for our Christmas gathering with my family. We had it last year and it was gone in just a couple hours. So I don't think I even got any of the trout dip. It went so fast, but we're going to have that. Let's see. I'll show you. Bringing up my good friend Adam from Modern Frontier. He is probably at the farm store right now. They have a farm store halfway between Wales and Waukesha on Highway 18 in Waukesha, Wisconsin. What more could you want than this crazy guy with food? But he's got all kinds of subscription boxes. He's got beef, pork, and chicken. Very good stuff. Meat sticks are awesome. I bought 2 packs when I was with him last weekend, and it was really nice to see him. So check out modernfrontier.com. You can order online, and they will deliver anywhere in the U.S. And they will hand deliver with a smile on his face if you're probably in the Milwaukee area. But I'm speaking for him, and you'll have to work that out with him. So other than that, we'll be back on Wednesday at 7 o'clock p.m. New show. What are we talking about then? I have my listy list. The slowdown season. Yeah, that's a good one. We're going to be talking about the slowdown season. And again, 25% sale on Tommy Cakes. Go get them. Other than that, thanks for checking in and watching our show today. It'll be up on smallscalelife.com and podcast listening apps all over. I've got about 7 shows that I'm going to be loading up there. So you'll see new shows on your podcast feed shortly. I've got them all set. I just have to upload them today. So here we go. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Remember to learn, do, grow, be a little better every day. And we'll see you on Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central Time. So see you soon. Take care, everybody.
As we close this episode of the Small Scale Life Podcast, remember this. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. It might seem like an impossible thing to achieve your goals, like starting a small business, losing that stubborn weight, tackling your debt, or becoming that person you always wanted to become. But it is achievable. It's achievable. You can do it. You need to put one step in front of the other. But you have to begin that journey by making a decision and taking that step forward. So, start. Take a deep breath and take that first step. You can do it. We're here to help. This is Tom from the Small Scale Life Podcast, reminding you to learn, do, grow, and be a little better every day. We'll be back real soon. Take care, everybody. One more important note. Small Scale Life reminds you that we are not licensed doctors, therapists, healthcare professionals, or financial professionals. You should always consult a professional before starting any practice. All information shared on Small Scale Life or the Small Scale Life podcast are for informational and inspirational purposes. Results will always vary, and participation in any practice or activity is completely voluntary and at your own risk. That said, keep learning, doing, growing, and being a little better every day. You've got this.